An amazing book, Bless Your Hearts by Charlotte Endorf, and she has with her today Ann Perlinger and Gary Gifford, all to talk about this wonderful book. Charlotte was telling me it took you about 2 years to write. What was your inspiration? Why did you want to write a book about the canteen?
Well, I public speak, and I started asking the people, what would you like to hear next? And they started saying, I want to hear about the North Platte canteen. So I started interviewing people like Ann, and I was totally inspired. So I got the stories together, and we now have the book.
Look, let me hold the book so we can show folks this book, because it's now available. How do we get our hands on it?
Here in North Platte, you can get your hands on it 3 ways. You can go to the fort, you could go to A to Z bookstore, or you could go to the museum.
All right, so that there's easy ways to get your hands on this book. Ann, you volunteered? You had to be young, girl.
Well, I was 9 years old, but I went with my mom when it was Paxton's day to go.
What do you remember?
Oh, all the people. I had never seen so many service people, had never seen any service people actually. And they just swarmed in, and it was just amazing.
It had to have been chaotic.
Pardon me?
Was it chaotic when they would come off
You
the
know,
trains?
yeah, in a way, but it was exciting. It was just exciting to see them all, and they couldn't believe everything was free. They'd say, how much is it? And I'd say, free. Really? It was great.
Did you make something? What was your mom's specialty?
We made popcorn balls, and
She has to tell her cute little story real fast.
do you have time? I made popcorn balls, and then I just had heard that you could put your name inside and your address, so I did that. And sometime later, a really nice lady in the country called my mother and said, she had the same name as I did, I have a letter about a popcorn ball, and I didn't put my name in a popcorn ball. Would it be your daughter? And she said, I think so. So she sent it to me, and I corresponded with this Private William Washelli was his name. And then I told him that I was only 9 years old. He said, that's just fine. I appreciate the popcorn ball.
That's really sweet.
But then he did send me a Christmas card, and I still have that card in my scrapbook.
That's neat. Gary, you have an uncle that you're representing today.
Yes, my Uncle Paul Kjar, and he joined the Navy in 1936. He was with the fleet when they sent the USS Lexington out to try to locate Amelia Earhart. He got out of the Navy, and when World War II broke out, he had my grandfather, who was on the draft board, draft him into the Army. And when they asked for volunteers for paratroops, he stood up. He was one of the very first U.S. paratroops.
Wow.
And they jumped into northern France, and he was at the Battle of the Bulge. And their unit was destroyed at the Battle of the Bulge. And then he was transferred into the 101st Airborne.
Wow. What a neat. But Charlotte, stories like that all in your book.
Yes, they
all,
are.
all in your book. All right, so A to Z Books, Fort Cody, and the Lincoln County Historical Museum.
Yes, and these people are passing away at a rate of 1,000 per day. As this book was published, 3 of the people passed away, and Gary's uncle was one of them. And he was one of them that says, you have to keep this history alive, and this is one of the ways that we can do that.
Get the book. What a great Memorial Day story. Thank you all so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you. All right, weather's next.